Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Dion from Dion Talk. How you doing, buddy?
Howdy, Mike. Doing great. Ready to buy the next rental and ready for round two.
Yeah. So what I want to do right here is I want to go through your story of you writing your latest offer on a fourplex. And the reason I want to go through it, I want to go through it step by step, is it is exactly what I hope all of my students, all of my followers, everyone does. Exactly. So, you ready? I want to try to walk through it slowly together. Okay. You ready?
Sure. And as you do this, I was kind of shocked when we were doing the Three Amigos video where I said, hey, here's how I wrote my last offer. And it kind of resonated with what we do because I do this over and over and over and over. So much that when I send an offer with my agent, I also put a couple of sentences explaining the mindset of the current offer.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So first and foremost, right? If you go to my course, you spend $320. What is the step one? You are going to define your buy box. So you have been telling Matt and I and the world that the next thing you want to buy is a fourplex. You have also told us that you likely expect it to be your biggest purchase at likely over 7 figures. People can go back to your playlist and see from months ago that was your expected buy box. Do I have that summary correct?
You do. And to clarify, not only did I expect it to be over $1 million property, my goal was.
Yeah.
Because something I had said a few times was a really smart person I know talks about how you can go broke buying cheap. And my first couple, I tried to buy cheap. I like that guy too.
I like that guy. Yeah.
So
right. Yeah.
I said, as long as the return scales with the purchase, that I wish my properties cost more, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. On my next one, I want to cost over $1 million.
Yeah. So again, what you are doing there, and you've been calling your shot, is you're doing step one of my course. It just is buy box, knowing what you want. Step two in the course, everybody can follow. Frankly, you can watch this video and get most of it, is you figured out what the average yield was. And then you said, I don't want anything less than, and I believe you said 10%, but correct me if I'm wrong, right? You want a great deal at a 10% yield. That's step two, right out of the playbook. Is that fair?
It is. And doing the work every day is important because if the area average yield were to go up or down, then I adjust what my great deal would be.
Exactly. So folks, what we're going through here probably should be watched a couple of times because this is, again, what I hope every follower of mine does. Obviously, I hope every student does because it's step by step of the course. Number 3, I have a spreadsheet. I teach everybody the spreadsheet. Everybody builds their own. The most important column to get correct, because it is the largest expense, is your mortgage payment. And you did something that was subtle but critical. You adjusted your spreadsheet to an expected 30-year mortgage when the deal closed. And if I remember correctly from our talk 2 weeks ago, you moved it all the way up to 4.8%. Is that correct?
I did for 2 weeks ago. Now I would project in the 5s.
This is important, folks, because again, remember, he wants 10%. Step 2. If your spreadsheet spits out 10%, but your mortgage is still at 10 weeks ago at 3.9, you're not going to get 10%. It's just a hint. So again, you adjusted early. All right. So we're almost there, right? Everything you're done. Step 1, step 2, step 3 of the course. We doing okay so far?
Yes, we're tracking.
Okay. So next thing, I have been calling for a real estate slowdown because I believe higher rates and gas prices and war and all of this stuff is going to make people retreat from the market. You have heard me say this a few times, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So 2 weeks ago, I think it was a Saturday, if I remember the story right, a fourplex comes on the market, $1.3 million. It is in your buy box. And you're like, oh, 1.3. If this is anything like the last 3 or 4 months, this will be in escrow by the end of the weekend. Is that fair?
Within hours. It would be under contract within 2 to 3 hours.
Exactly. If the market was like it was before. So it comes out on Saturday. You're like, cool, buy box 1.3, reasonable price, but I can't get 10%. So I'm not doing anything because you expected it that morning to be in escrow by the end of the day, certainly by the end of the weekend. Open up your app or whatever it is the next day, your computer, still there. By the next morning, it's still there. So you reach out to your agent and say, hey, I would like to write an offer. Here's where my course gets tied up in a pretty bow. You've done the work. You've adjusted the spreadsheet. It is in your buy box. You've done the math. You know the down payment. You know the taxes. You know the rent. All of these things you know. And most importantly, you find out you can't offer 1.3, right?
Correct. Right.
But Dion, you have to offer asking price. Don't you know? You have to offer asking price.
So there's one element to the list price that a lot of people usually leave out. There isn't a current market list price for a property. The seller is the listing agent is trying to project what the appreciation has been since the last deal like this. So in November or December, this place probably would have sold for 1.1. But in the last few months, we've seen appreciation. So 1.3 seems reasonable if interest rates stayed where they were and demand stayed as high as it was. So it's not like the price has come down, but the price is not going up as fast as it was.
Exactly. So again, you're doing this. You do what following before you reach out to your agent, I am guessing. You're like, cool, it's been on the market 48 hours, clearly not as active. I'm going to take my shot. You do the math. You put in 4.8. You do this, you do that. You come out with a max number, if I remember the story right, of 1.11. To get to get 10% yield, which is the only deal you will do. You won't do 8. You won't do 6. You want 10, or you will wait to the next one. So you write a strategic offer at 1.1, giving you ever so slight room to come up. Sometimes you just got to give a little. Totally great move. So you write up an offer at 1.1, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You send it in Monday evening. What happens next?
So step one was to let my agent know I was watching this property, that it checks off all my boxes other than price, because I want him to know how to narrow my search when he can, or if he hears something to send it to me.
Yep.
Make the offer. The seller comes back magically now at 2 days with the standard cookie cutter answer of, we have multiple offers. Please come back with your best and funny.
That's hilarious. Every time. Oh, suddenly we have multiple offers. Sometimes they do. Most of the time they don't.
Right. That was at 2 days. I've seen that in the past at 60 days. Magically today, we all of a sudden have multiple offers.
Me too.
Right.
Yeah. So again, that is a fair strategy on the listing side to do that, because again, they anticipate buyers coming in at a number, and it's usually not their best and final. You did exactly what I would do. And that is, you went right back at your number of 1.1, because it is not the time to give them anything. You're negotiating with yourself.
Correct.
Okay. So now you go back at 1.1. It's now probably Wednesday or Thursday. Did you do anything different in that offer? Do you tell them why? Do you put a clock on it? What do you do at this point? Because this is now a counter.
I was sarcastic with my agent because I knew that would convey in his tone when he was talking to the listing agent.
Okay.
I said, my best and final is 1.1. That's what I offered. And if they want less, tell them to ask me tomorrow.
I like it.
I didn't say to say that to them. Like, I didn't put it in there. I put like a laugh emoji at the end so that he knew that was my final. I wasn't going to go up. But agents talk. So it's a really subtle kind of way of doing it. The next communication, I actually did say that.
Okay. Awesome. So let's talk about that next communication, because I think that is genius. This is something I would, again, folks, I'm taking you through my course in this real life example. I would communicate what you did about the interest rate and why this number may not last. So talk about that.
That's what I did in the next communication. They came back with, we appreciate your best and final, which was still 1.1. No other offer came in that beats yours. So
yeah, it's funny when 0 other offers come in, nobody beats yours. It's amazing.
Correct. So when they came back, but they also said, so we're not going to take your offer either.
Okay.
Not a motivated seller. They were mentally expecting 1.3. For them to probably move or 1031, they were expecting to have more money to invest.
Of course.
So I sent back an email, and this one I told my agent to actually just forward this statement. With interest rates rising, my buying power is getting smaller. So my deal, my offer of 1.1 is good until Friday, which was 2 days ago is when we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
My offer stands till then. The next week, because interest rates are going up, my offer will be less.
Okay. What happened, if anything, at this point?
So currently they haven't responded. I haven't gotten the deal just because I stood my ground, but it's still listed. It's not pending. It's not under contract.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, Monday morning, I'm going to have my agent reach out and just find out where they're at with this.
Cool. So this is why a housing slowdown is coming. This is what you are seeing in your market on this one fourplex is going to happen across the country. It will happen at different rates. The other thing I want people to hear about, because I get hammered from people from the Bay Area and LA and all these ridiculously expensive areas. We're talking about investment properties. If you live in a market with no inventory and your owner occ, not your channel. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about investment properties, in this case, a fourplex. What is happening is rising rates are pulling back buying power, as you said, scaring people to write offers. They don't want to sign up for this big debt. And one of a couple of things are happening. And this is why I confidently say transactions are going to crash. One, that seller may decide that, you know what, if we can't get 1.3, we will just keep being landlords with this fourplex, right? They don't have to sell, right? That is one option. Correct.
And that takes out 2 deals.
Exactly. The one that they're selling and the one that they were buying. Exactly. Okay. Because they were going to 1031. That is a perfect strategy. And I suspect lots of landlords will choose to keep their fourplex. Again, folks, I've been in this market before. I've seen prices crest and fall. I've been doing this 21 years, way before the last run up. It's so similar. Okay. Next, what may happen is you may have found a motivated seller. Now, in this case, the way that this would be motivated is maybe they're hands-on. Maybe they're going to move to Florida. I'm just making this up, right? Maybe they like to manage, but they only want to manage where they live. Maybe they want to go travel the world and they want to have half as many units. Who knows? But if they're motivated and maybe they bought this fourplex for 200 grand. And when they really sit back and realize, well, yeah, he's right. Interest is up. He can't buy as much. Honey, let's get out. Maybe that happens and you found a motivated seller. And again, if that happens, you got an 18% discount to list. You got a 1.3 list for a 1.1. And again, this is what's going to happen. I'm telling all of my students, write great offers. The last 18 months, it was terrible because the agents wouldn't write them up. It is about to change. Let Dion from the Three Amigos and Dion Talk be your inspiration. Do the work, have a buy box, figure out average, and then only write great offers. It probably will take you 60 or 90 days to get where he is at, but do the work. It's right there for you. So it could happen.
There's a few scenarios that can happen. And about half of the properties that I own happened because I made offers that were not accepted. They usually took another offer. So it's possible somebody else comes in and makes a higher offer than mine at some point. Somebody else might run their numbers or go for a lower yield, whatever it is, and then it won't appraise. Mm-hmm. Or they'll pull out halfway, or they'll try to negotiate the price down below what my offer was because of some repairs or something. So when my agent reaches out tomorrow, because rates haven't gone up this week compared to last week yet, mm-hmm. I'm going to say, offer still stands. If they accept another offer that is more than mine, then we're going to submit my offer and say, we would like to be in second position in case that one falls through, which is half my deals have happened in that scenario. And then the third one is, like you said, they just don't sell.
Yeah. Yeah. So now let's wrap this up, because a lot of people watching this they just want a housing crash. And in this example, we are talking about an 18% discount. So Michael, we're going to have an 18% crash in fourplexes in Washington. Come on.
we're not going to have an 18% increase over last month because of
Exactly.
interest rates.
Exactly, people. This is not an 18% crash. Even if he got a discount to last appraisal on the last property, one property does not swing a market. I mean, I just people want to crash, man. They just, I guess they want to be rewarded for doing nothing the last couple of years. I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, it's kind of human nature for investors to want to crash. My live stream this Tuesday is actually going to be based on some of the questions we've seen in the Facebook group in the last couple of weeks. It's going to be, so now you're a landlord, now what?
Yeah.
Even when you're a landlord and you own properties, you still kind of want to crash because then you can buy on sale.
Dude, again, let me just say it right. If my word means anything, I want Fresno, California to fall 75% like it did last time. Bring it on. If my one word can make that happen, let's do it.
Right. So we have a plan for if that happens, but we also have a plan for when most likely that doesn't happen.
Dude, again, I study economics. I'm looking for trends. I want to find the consumer because they're my competitor and customer. I never think about a crash. I never think about it. I never think about appreciation or depreciation or deflation, whatever you want to. The asset price means nothing to me. It's like you said, it's the interest rate or cost of money and my yield. That's all that matters. I do not count appreciation ever. And once I buy a property, given that I only use 30-year debt, I don't give a rat's ass if it falls 75%. I don't care. I don't care.
That's so hard to explain to a newer investor because that's one of the top 3 questions. What happens if prices fall right after I buy?
As long as you bought right, because you did the work, one rental at a time, you don't have if you have a bad debt structure, if you're doing IO bridge debt on a value add multifamily property today, you're an
adjustable rate.
You're an idiot. An idiot. I don't do that. I don't teach that. I don't talk about that. I would never ask anybody to do that. I'm going to buy that stuff from that person when they can't refi or the cap rate goes up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. So Dan, how can people find you? This is an amazing story. I hope you get this fourplex. And if you don't, I know you will do the same thing on the next one and the next one.
I would like to get it too, but I would also like to get any of the other 2 offers I have out right now too. So, I mean, something.
There you go. There you go.
You'll find me right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.